everyone, and welcome back to Brook in the Air. This is another one of our great vlogs, of course, that we could expect. Today we're going over just some of the amazing sights that we will be seeing in Frankfurt, Deutschland. So,
except it's probably not going to be that sunny and that not covered in snow.
Yeah. Well, we'll be covered in snow, but yeah.
Well, it will be covered in snow, unlike that picture.
So, Frankfurt is, of course, the fifth largest city in Germany, the home of the busiest airport, Frankfurt-Flughafen, where we'll be flying.
Frankfurt what?
Flughafen.
I'm sorry, in English?
Airport. Flug. Air. Haven. Haven, or home. Home of air. Thus, airport. This is their opening picture, of course, but this is also the home of the Romerberg. So, also known as the Romerstrasse, but that's erroneous. It's not the Romerstrasse, it's the Romerberg. And basically, the Romerberg was created in the aftermath of World War II. Recreated, I should say. What you're seeing here was all rebuilt in 1945, 46, 47.
Question. Why was it rebuilt?
Because of continuous Allied bombing raids.
So what you're saying is Americans bombed it to dust. And if not, then the British.
They bombed the freedom into it. And notice the German flag over here, the Hessian flag over here, and the UN flag over here.
The European Union?
UN.
Oh. Why the UN and not the European Union?
Because they chose to honor the UN and not the EU.
Mm.
They had the option of doing either one.
Why? What's so special about the Romsburg, you said?
Romerberg.
Okay, what does that even mean for us non-German speaking people?
So basically, the Romerberg, located in the Altstadt, or Old Town, which was, again, rebuilt after World War II, is a city center within the city center, next to the financial district, which Frankfurt is huge in, but I'll get to that in a second. Basically, it's full of shops, village wares, and things like that. It's basically a huge shopping center next to a shopping center.
Okay, and I'm going to be asking some of the dumb questions that people will ask. So why isn't there beer and lederhosen everywhere?
That is a racial stereotype, not racist, racial, that you will only find in Munich around Oktoberfest.
Or in the larger part of Bavaria, right?
Which is Munich.
Yeah, that brings up a question. Where is Munich located, since it's not in Bavaria?
It is.
It is, okay.
Munich is the largest city and capital of Bavaria. Okay, let's put this into perspective here. Here's ancient Germany, okay? This is Germany. Here's Munich, Bavaria.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Frankfurt.
Okay, sorry. Where is Frankfurt located in Bavaria?
No.
Okay.
Frankfurt is in Hesse.
Hence why the Hessen flag. Oh, question. So that means the allies of the Brits in the Revolutionary War probably came from around the area of Frankfurt?
No.
But Hessians?
They came from Hesse, but didn't come from Frankfurt.
Sorry, random tangent, people.
So this is the Romerberg, also known erroneously as the Romerstrasse. But it's not just one street. Yes, Strasse means street. But it's not just one street, it's multiple streets in multiple areas. Basically, it's roughly between
So it's
4 and
Romer
7
Town. Wait, it's Romer Town, for lack of a better word. Is it called Romer Town because walking town?
Essentially. Frankfurt is a very walkable city. That doesn't mean you can't drive cars. It just means that the majority of people in Frankfurt prefer to use either public transit or their feet.
Well, yeah, because I mean, when we looked at the price of gas, how much was it for a gallon of gas? Was it like
No. Per liter.
Well, right, but if you compare it directly by gallon, it was what, $7.43 per the gallon?
$8.20, essentially.
Yeah.
You Americans have no right to complain.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh no, I have to pay $4 per gallon of gas. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, Germans have to pay about $8 for a gallon of gas, and they don't have such a thing as an economy car. Everything is what? BMW, Mercedes, Audi?
Over here,
Oh yeah, except for a Volkswagen.
over here, those are luxury cars. Over there, BMW, Mercedes, and Audi are just cars that anyone can get.
Right, but they still burn. They're still not any more gas efficient, are they?
Relatively speaking, yeah.
Okay.
The same models they sell over there.
Yeah. Sorry, it was probably an update or something on the computer.
The same models that they sell over here are the same models they sell over there, but over there they use a bit more domestically sourced parts.
Oh yeah, don't they also keep the roads in better repair?
Yeah. Yes, we have 5 seasons over here. We have autumn, spring, summer, winter, and road construction.
Otherwise known as pothole time. Oh wait, that's everything else except for road construction. For them, if there's road construction lasting longer than a few days, it's a big deal.
Now, Frankfurt's nicknames are Manhattan and Bankfurt.
Why is that?
Because Frankfurt, and its full name is Frankfurt-am-Main.
We'll get to that question in a second.
Yes. Is known as the home of the European Central Bank and the home of the European Financial District.
So basically, it's New York in German?
Essentially, because what you're seeing here is just a glimpse of one neighborhood in the city. You're not seeing the massive skyscrapers and the ultra-modern skyline.
Do we have a couple pictures of those later on?
No.
No.
I meant to get those, but I didn't. I really should have. But it's beautiful. It looks like a picture of New York.
We're probably going to cover this again as it gets closer, because we're going to be there in how long?
We're going to be there in 42 days.
Yes. We get to basically spend New Year's over there. Aren't you jealous all?
Yes, we take off the morning after Christmas, and we come back, oh goodness, 3 days before my birthday.
Yep.
But basically they do have giant Bavarian pretzels, because they're called Bavarian pretzels. But they proliferate all over Germany, France, Switzerland, Austria, Scandinavia, like all over the U.S. for one thing.
And Germans kind of fall into two categories. The uber health nuts, because yes, it is actually terrifying. They make anybody who's a health nut here look like nothing. Or the stereotypical tubby person. Because German food is tasty.
You know the kid in Willy Wonka who got stuck in the chocolate tube? Yeah.
Klaus, whatever his name was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Gustavus.
Yeah, Gustavus. Yeah. Like, but the thing is, for most of them, they don't have an obesity problem because a lot of the health nuts, we swear no Arnold personally. And we wish we were joking.
Or they know someone who knows Arnold personally, and they get like fitness tips from them, and they get like dietary tips from them, and they're like the healthiest they've ever been, and they love the Ironman competitions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, we're not trying to be stereotypical, and please, again, as always, correct us if we're wrong. But they do like to be healthy.
Overall, Germans like to indulge occasionally. Who doesn't? But they indulge in moderation, and they don't go overboard. They like rules. They like laws. They like a regulation. They're not obsessed with this absurd notion of freedom. They come here, they look at you and go, "Was ist das?"
Yeah. If anything, probably their closest example, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Japanese.
Yeah, close. Japan loves their regulation, their discipline, their strict regimentation. Their basically they never go anywhere without a plan enforced.
Germans are the same way. The only big difference is the Japanese do it for their ancestors. Germans do it for efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, do they do it for efficiency?
I mean, call it what you want for reasoning. It works.
Yeah, like for example, as you can learn from some of the other people who have YouTube channels about Germany. What's her one name?
Oh, she was from Munich and she lives in Cincinnati now.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, what you
Ali
think?
Zilli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think of the name? The point is, instead of Germans helping you out, or German police helping you out if you run out of gas on the Autobahn, you will instead get a fine because you ran out of gas. Because you
You won't
didn't
get
prepare.
one person or anything. You won't get anything like heavy, but it'll be like a €250 fine, and you'll be told, "I'm giving you this chance to get off the road, but you still get a fine, and you get a €250 fine for clogging up all this traffic."
Yeah, because you didn't pull over for gas when you should have. They do not like anything mucking with their safety or their efficiency at all.
Because to them, getting a driver's license is a responsibility and a sign of civil responsibility at that. So, this is the inside of the Golf House, named for Wolfgang Johann von Golf. And he was a very famous, playwright, scientist, professor, poet, scholar, and statesman.
So, out of curiosity, was he their quintessential Renaissance man?
Essentially,
Basically, their Da Vinci.
yeah, I'd say so. If you look around his house, essentially, yeah. I mean, he spent the first 20 years of his life here. And this is where he wrote 3 famous plays and an assortment of his first statesman papers that he submitted to the Prussian Congress.
Isn't there also a university named after him?
Yes, there is. The university I attended an interview with. It would be Gulf University. So this is this is outside of the Museum Centrum, or a Central Museum. Also home of a lot of modern art inside there. But the Gold House is right across the street.
Now, it looks like some old style architecture. Was this rebuilt or is this original?
Mostly rebuilt. A little bit original. Like I said, a lot of this is rebuilt after the war.
Well, yeah, because it was kind of like what happened in Dresden. It got absolutely bombed the crud out of. Or, sorry, bombed the freedom into. And,
Dresden, Hamburg, yeah.
yeah, bombed the American into.
So the Stahl Museum, home to like 90% of Europe's, like not just Germany's, but Europe's main art and their galleries. Taken, showed with permission, by the way.
Oh, you mean unlike the British Museum?
Yeah.
Or, like, for instance, the Cleveland Museum with its Roman artifacts?
Yeah.
Because I believe Germans take that also very seriously, don't they?
So here you'll not only encounter things by Golf, you'll also see Monet, you'll see Picasso, you'll see Rembrandt, I mean, everything under the sun, essentially. And this is roughly twice the size of the Met in New York.
And what does Stadel stand for? Is that just the name of it, or does it stand for something?
Shell since for stadium.
So it's the Stadium Museum because it's the size of a stadium?
Essentially, yeah. If you look at the cars here, the cars are superimposed, but if we go over there, huge,
Well,
huge.
yeah, you can get the reference by those people walking.
Yeah. This is just the front gallery. It actually goes all the way back towards here.
Yeah. And then it goes all the way to down there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another picture of the Romerberg.
Romerberg, yep. You know how San Francisco says painted ladies? Well, the Romerberg has an assortment of painted houses that are essentially shops on the first floors and museums on the second, third, fourth floors. They can go through. This all around.
There's some very interesting either curtains or something that they have on it, and
Lights.
oh, the lights. Plus, you've got the very interesting paintscape back here.
Oh yeah.
And any reason why all the roofs are blue?
They were elected or selected to have blue paint because they felt it was more of a cultural aesthetic.
Mm.
And those these core panels in here too. These are really prominent. Liebig House. House, obviously, H-A-U-S, House. Liebig, next to the university, obviously. One of the universities, anyway. Frankfurt has like 4 universities.
Well, again, Liebig is that name of somebody, or
You know, I don't often do this, but
she's checking her data. Better to, because you have to remember, we're also talking about a different language that you've practiced, but you're not fluent in it. So, me asking the questions, and also I'm asking questions because we're waiting on for you guys to ask questions. We will always take questions from the audience.
mm-hmm.
And don't forget, if you haven't followed already, please make sure to follow because she is getting closer and closer.
Sculpture Museum. It's on the museum's refer, not far from the university itself. Sculpture Museum, home of a lot of Germany's fine sculptures. This is part of the 39 museums on the Museumshofer on Frankfurt-am-Main.
So it basically is a sculpture house.
On the Sachsenhausen Bank.
So Saxon House.
Mm-hmm. Retirement home for the Bohemian textile manufacturer Baron Heinrich von Liebig. Das Liebig House. Ooh, includes Greek, Roman, and Egyptian sculpture.
And yet, again, unlike Cleveland, they actually have permission. They didn't get their Marcus Aurelius statue through stolen means.
They have Carolina reliefs from ivory carved in mid-9th century.
Ooh.
Museum of Applied Arts or Museum Gewandte Kunst.
Yes, with the translation right there. Oh, remember, it's for those people who...
Yes. But you'll notice the you'll notice the neo-modern architecture over here, going into the more colonial Victorian era architecture over here. So this is actually more of a connection to the neighboring school, but they also feature the students' art projects.
You mean they actually care about student art, unlike here in America?
Yeah. Like, if you do well enough, you can get in. No. It's more like if you do well enough and your sculpture is good, then we will put on display. So Frankfurt has a huge swath of churches and cathedrals, most of which are decommissioned, but you can still go inside. They're a beautiful cultural landmark, and this has nothing to do with religion per se. This is all because of
It's mostly historical, and it's their part of their ancestry, right? Because it used to be quite, what was it, Catholic there before?
oh yeah, Bartholomew Kirche. It's no longer an active church. I think it's active maybe twice a year.
Christmas and probably Easter.
Yeah. There's a couple that are fully active, but not many.
This was also. Did this survive the war, or was it rebuilt?
Partially rebuilt. It was struck by two 1,000-pound bombs.
Unexploded or exploded?
Exploded.
Dang.
And,
Again, resilience of Germany.
yeah. But you can actually learn all about the nation of Germany from, like, far back up to the present just by studying inside of the church.
Speaking of churches, this one's probably active.
No.
Really?
Paulskirche? No. It has been completely decommissioned. It's no longer an active church. You can go in and they give tours. And you can see the inside and the very, very wonderful Rembrandt-inspired classical portraiture, sculpture, architecture. Very, very historically inclined. If you're into history at all, I highly recommend checking out a lot of these churches. It has nothing to do with religion at all.
Also, aren't all the bells synced across the entire city?
No.
They're not?
Only the active churches.
No, only the active. Really? I'm actually surprised that even the decommissioned churches don't have bells, because that would be kind of cool.
See, in the background, you can see the arching skyscrapers of Manhattan.
And it looks like there's some living quarters over here.
Yeah.
Probably apartments.
And see, before going any further, it's called the Frankfurt-am-Main because it's on the banks of the Main River.
Yeah, so you're also learning Frankfurt-am Main.
Frankfurt, the name of the city, on Main River. Frankfurt on Main. Really not that hard, guys.
Yeah. That's why German, if you actually start to study it, yes, we're going to do a plug for something on somebody like Babbel. They didn't ask us to say anything, we've just both used it. It's pretty basic, and it's almost a step-by-step like everything else with it. When it comes to Germany, they make it simple, efficient, and don't have a lot of extra minutia.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So this is the Sachsenhausen neighborhood leading to the Rummerburg. Now, in this area of Sachsenhausen and the Rummer, you will find a lot of high-end shops, from Versace to Dolce & Gabbana, anything of the sort. You will find it in here. Also, they have great cinnamon buns. Oh my god.
Also, break it down. Saxon?
Saxon. Home of the Saxons.
So Saxon house, and since it's multiple houses,
Plural.
Hausen for
Houses of the Saxons. Hauptwalk, or guard's house.
yeah, and very important. It is Hopwalk, not Hopwatch.
Which a lot of Americans pronounce it as.
Hopwalk.
See, we get the help from a lot of the German ranking system in the military when they call Captain Hauptmann. So they kind of take the Haupt and transliterate that into here, where we have guard.
So it's the guard watch.
The guard watch, or guard house, guard troop, guard post, whatever you want to call it. Yes. And obviously it's not a guard post anymore, but you can walk in here and it's a kind of a mini museum It has a lot of neat little artifacts in here from the time when Germany was Prussia.
So it's a Prussian guard tower.
Essentially, especially when they were fighting off Imperial Russia. And it goes back to dating back to the 8th and 9th century when they
And
were
is
fighting.
that this building in the front, or is that the big tower in the back?
Both.
Hmm.
You enter here and go in through here.
Ah, so it was the front guard post, and then this was the lookout tower.
Yep. Asienheimer Turm or Asienheimer Tower? Turm Tower.
And again, name or
The Asienheimer. You know what? Let me
verifying again.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm assuming that it's again a watchtower. But yeah, again, if anybody knows and wants to spread their knowledge who watch this, please leave a comment below. We welcome it. So yeah, it looks almost like...
The last remnant of Frankfurt when it was a free imperial city.
Oh!
It was built with permission of Holy Roman Emperor Louis IV.
Yes, the Germans pride themselves on their history, which is why it's not necessarily in any of this. I believe the closest one is near Leipzig.
Leipzig.
Leipzig. They even keep the Holocaust camp locations intact, so everybody can learn from them what not to do.
You can go within the tower and see the inside of a true medieval tower.
Yep. And the Germans were very well known for, I think, their armor, weren't they, at that time?
Oh yeah. It withstood the Allied bombing. I should tell you how durable it is right there. It never took a direct hit, but it did take several close ones.
And that is all the original Mason work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was built to last. Now here we go. You did have a picture of it.
Well, some of it anyway, yeah. The main tower or monitor term?
Which is that right there?
Yeah.
And you can see another skyscraper next to it.
Now these are actually residential towers.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, I actually showed you the residences in one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If we do end up moving here, we're looking at living in a lot of these because of everything that they have. As you can see, there's even one off there in the distance, and
the main downtown of Frankfurt is over here, and it over here. There's two main downtown sections.
And that is the Main River right there.
This is the main river. Yep. Now this is another tourist spot, the Iron Bridge.
Is that the Lock Bridge?
Yep. Now I didn't put this in the list because I was trying to keep it succinct overall, but it's actually a very intriguing historical landmark. That bridge is roughly 30 meters long. It's a walking bridge. I mean, cars can go on it, but primarily like 90% is foot traffic.
Yeah, your main road bridge is right there.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you try to drive across, you can. It's legal, but people will look at you like you're the biggest in the world.
Yeah. You know what this really reminds me of, the way that it's set up? It reminds me a lot of Richmond.
Yeah.
Except there is no, well, ghetto-ish area in here that I know of.
Ixnay on the ghetto side.
Yeah. Well, low income, I guess you would call it. But anyway.
Yeah. So there are offices.
But I would say this is more residential. This is more business.
Yeah, there are offices in the main tower, obviously, but above a certain level, you can like there, it's zoned for residential only. It's also the third or fifth highest tower in Germany.
And that's the radio tower right there.
Cell tower.
Oh, it's cell tower now, guys. Probably has radio on it too.
Probably. And honestly, over here is just lookup points. They have an elevator that takes you up, and you can look over all of Frankfurt down the surrounding countryside. It's a great view.
Oh, they're still building right here. You can see the crane.
Oh yeah, over here, down here, over here. They're constantly expanding the city. Oh, and it looks fantastic at night too.
You didn't put any pictures of those on here, did you? Did you know of?
No, but I will later. And trust me when I say it looks amazing at night, like a view of like New York City.
We are also taking 2 GoPros with us when we go, so you guys will get to see full-on videos. And if, oops, go back. Dang it. There we go.
Now, this is Frankfurt's Botanical Garden. They call it a palm garden, and with a good reason why. There's a lot of palm trees in here. Now normally palm trees cannot grow in Germany for obvious environmental reasons, but they cultivated this area within the greenhouse.
It's like a little bit of Southern California. Or Florida.
Okay, I guess I'm on this one now.
No. There was more. There was more about it. I went too fast. Story of my life.
So if you want to just get away from it all, I highly recommend the Botanical Garden. It's very cheap to enter. It's part of the museum tour. It doesn't take long to get through, like maybe an hour tops.
And no, you cannot get in here and sunbathe.
No. There's plenty of places for that. This is not one of them. Now, you can take a boat ride on the Main River. This is and you remember the tower that we just saw a second ago? Right here.
And I believe that's the cathedral, isn't it?
No. No. That it is.
Oh, okay.
And it's a spire.
Okay.
This is an apartment building right here.
Ah. Then we got more apartment buildings.
Yep, more
Those
apartments.
are all apartment buildings.
And then we have the museum for here and here on both banks. I kind of want to do this when we go. I want to take a boat ride on the Main.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they don't have people fishing on the side.
No. I mean, I suppose you could, but what would be the purpose? And there's plenty of like laws against it.
Well, the big thing that we also have to think about with the boat ride is whether or not the river will be frozen.
Yeah. Although it doesn't really freeze over.
Yeah, but they might not put boats in there just for safety reasons.
That's true.
Dink. And yes, food is a thing.
Oh, Frankfurt is a food mecca.
So remember how when we went to San Francisco, we talked about being foodies? All I can think is we're going to be saying, like, yeah, that's adorable.
I mean, San Francisco had an amazing food option, I will say that. It was 4.5 stars all the way. Frankfurt, from what I've studied and looked at, Frankfurt is amazing for food. Oh my god. I mean, Chinese, Japanese, Mexican even, which will make him happy.
I will challenge that. I will see if it happens.
I mean, Vietnamese, Slavic, obviously, and even their traditional spätzle and schnitzel and bratwurst and everything else, right in the scene, essentially.
I assume their portions are smaller, but that's so you can try many different things.
Portions are smaller because the food fills you up.
Right. Well, and also, like, I've noticed that on many plane reviews that we've done, that we've watched for especially European airlines, they serve you multiple courses, but the food seems smaller or less on the plate.
Oh yeah, I mean, Swiss International gives you tons of food, but it's all in smaller portions. By no means is bite-sized, don't get me wrong. But I mean, it's not this monstrous heaping proportion that they give you here in the U.S.
But I want my Giganto burger.
Then take American Airlines.
No. I just have to go to McDonald's at the airport.
Yeah, there's a reason why we're flying out of America into Canada and flying from Canada to Germany.
Well, besides the fact that you can get your maple cocktail.
That's a small bonus. Yeah, I'll do more in depth on this later, but honestly, going from Canada to Europe is cheaper than going from the US to Europe.
Plus, we also found out checking through it, if we fly Air Canada, it has a better chance than flying Polaris. Not because we don't dislike United, but
On the contrary, we love United, but
yeah, but we'd have to fly out of probably Newark, Liberty, or somewhere else. And let's be honest, Toronto right now, until United gets finished fixing it up, is a prettier airport.
so we have three main options for United. There's Chicago, but that requires a layover and another trip. There's Newark, your primary gateway to Europe, and there's Dallas, which is their secondary. But we decided to go with Canada, Air Canada rather, which has two gateways. One gateway to the Pacific, which is Vancouver, and one gateway to the Atlantic, which is, well, Toronto. And then they have their backup to Toronto, Montreal. So I think that's all we have for you today. I hope it gave you a brief insight into Frankfurt. I'll have more details coming up in the coming weeks as we near departure.
Probably one of the last weeks of December before we leave.
Yes.
We're going to do a whole trip so you guys can follow us along and use FlightAware or something.
Yep. And I missed this last week, but I hope you guys had a great Halloween. And I'll say this again right before the holiday, but in case I forget, have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And
don't eat too much.
Don't eat too much. Spend time with your families, unless your family hates your guts and you hate theirs. In which case, I wish you peace and solitary.
Or enjoy time with friends.
Yes.
Because there is always a family for everybody. It just may not be your blood relatives.
True. You define family. Your blood doesn't. I will see you in the air. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please join my Patreon. I have maybe very minimal subscribers on there, and I could always use more, and that will enable access to additional content.
Yes, if she can make this a full-time thing, you guys will get more content than just this.
And better content.
Yeah. More money is good. It makes us able to do stuff. Anyway,
see you in the air. I love you all, and I will see you next week.